Hello, survivors, and welcome to Let's Die Revenant, the his versus hers guide to surviving impossible things. And this week, we are surviving the galactic apocalypse. I am Cody, and that one's Brett. Say hi.
Hi.
That's how this feels. How do you feel about this?
I feel great. Honestly, I've been spread real thin lately upon the heap of 30 podcasts that I lay dominion across. I'm like
across your empire.
correct. I'm like Smaug. Um,
Smaug.
yeah, and you're all little bits of my treasure pile. And Cody, though I can't see you, I can smell you.
Oh, you're gonna make me the Hobbit. I was gonna say, am I your Arkenstone? But
Well,
no,
sure, of course.
nope,
Shining Arkenstone. What did the Arkenstone do anyway?
Was just really fucking shiny and pretty.
Really shiny, because I'm shiny like a diamond shining
Whoa!
bright.
We did that two episodes ago, my dude. We're on
Oops.
Guardians of the Galaxy this time. Guardians.
I've been to the galaxy.
You've been to, I have also been to the galaxy 3 times now.
Three times.
Yeah, 3 times. The Guardians movies were some of my favorite of the Marvel franchise. And now Chris Pratt is trouble. So
Chris Pratt is trouble.
Is trouble.
Famously, I think we did. Since you already mentioned him, we did a whole like Mario episode 0 where we avoided saying his name.
Oh,
I don't have any issues saying his name. You can talk about the dude without, supporting him or whatever you want to say. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't bother me. Chris Pratt is not getting under my skin. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yep. I don't. No, Guardians of the Galaxy has always been super nice and super funny because it's got this like crazy cast characters, aliens and raccoon thingies and tree thingies, and
he's not a raccoon.
All that.
Except for when he finds out he's a raccoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen all the Guardians. I mean, that's nothing really special.
Yeah. I thought they were funny, and I thought that the soundtrack was really good. But I guess at this point, after 3 of them, it's just like okay, I've like this is not novel anymore.
No, I still appreciate them, even though it's like you said, it's 3 movies in now, because there's like a 5-year gap in between each movie. It doesn't feel like they're pumping them out just to cash a check.
That's fair. Yeah.
But also, it's so removed from the events happening on Marvel on Earth that it's kind of a breath of fresh air from the rest of Marvel's stuff that they got going on. At least a little bit. Like, you don't have to worry about S.H.I.E.L.D. or anything. I mean, except for when it's like things like Infinity War and stuff. But even seeing them in Infinity War, I was like, oh, there's the Guardians. Yay.
Yeah. Do you know that you have music playing?
Yeah.
Do you know that we can hear the music that you're playing?
Yeah.
My ADHD is not loving that, my dude.
It's the Guardians mix or whatever.
All I can hear is that music, and I'm trying to... My brain is like, what's that music? And then it's like, oh god, he's saying words. So...
No,
Welcome to ADHD cast. No, yeah, it's good. It's they're good movies, and we saw the 3rd one, and we're gonna talk about it. So
yeah, we did. So I don't want to waste a whole lot of time.
Yeah, spoiler warning.
Well, I don't want to waste a whole lot of time going over 1 and 2.
No,
like I said, Guardians 2 is 5 years old at this point.
Though Lee Pace, wasn't he the
who?
Oh yeah, Lee Pace was amazing. Lee Pace is such a hot guy. Oh my gosh.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, is he in the first one?
I hear you like slamming that keyboard in the background.
Oh yeah. No, he was in the first one actually, I think, because he's Ronan, the Accuser.
Yeah, that's the first movie. He's not even in the 2nd or 3rd one. I think he shows up as like a flashback at some point, but I don't even think that flashback was even a Guardians movie or whatever.
Well, he was amazing in the first one. Chef's kiss, Lee Pace.
I don't remember it being that particularly memorable. Although I do remember he's just very like a menacing, cold character.
I mean, it's just the fact that it's Lee Pace.
And I don't know who that is, but also he got beaten by a dance battle, so there's that.
Dun, dun.
The pod dog herself has made an appearance.
The pod dog himself. Yeah. So
Guardians 3. We come into nowhere, and the Guardians have been basically building nowhere up to be a community. We get to see them improve the various buildings, hang signs. But Rocket is kind of depressed, like he's listening to this depressing music, like the one you just heard. And this is all kind of following what we started to see with the Guardians Christmas special. Did you see that?
No.
Really? You haven't seen that?
No.
I highly recommend. You sound like you'd never even heard of it.
I honestly thought you were memeing for a second because
absolutely
I did
not
think that they would make a Christmas special.
They absolutely did. I can't believe you haven't seen it.
In my mind, prior to this conversation, the Venn diagram of Christmas specials and franchises, Marvel, they were two complete circles apart from each other.
All right.
You're telling me that there's a...
I didn't want this to be part of the show, but it's got to be. We're watching the trailer right now.
Okay.
This is a Let's Die
exclusive.
Yeah, 7-month-old exclusive.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you see, I can't hear it for whatever reason.
Oh, you can't hear it. I forgot. You got to reshare the sign anytime you change something on this damn program.
I just saw on the calendar that right now on Earth, it's almost Christmas time.
We don't have time for trivialities like Christmas.
But Peter's so sad about Gamora being gone.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a prequel. Yeah.
If we could
absolutely.
a really wonderful Christmas gift, it would make him happy. Something special he will never forget.
What about someone special?
We're looking for the legendary Kevin Bacon.
We're looking for the legendary Kevin Bacon.
I just said that, Drax.
If your voice is small and mousy, I think maybe he didn't hear you. You're coming with us as a Christmas present.
Oh, is this when you met Cosmo?
This is when you meet Cosmo, yeah.
Okay. I'll have to watch. Oh, yeah. See, it's on Disney. I don't have Disney Plus. That sounds really cute, though.
It's so good. Instantly a Christmas favorite. Anytime Christmas rolls around, we're going to be watching that. But they definitely set up this kind of community on Nowhere in the Christmas special. You do get to see, like, Cosmo talks for the first time in the special. And this is definitely like I said, a jumping off point for 3. Peter's depressed because of Gamora. Definitely the case in 3. He's drinking himself silly every night. And then Adam Warlock, Golden Boy himself, comes out of nowhere and just beats the shit out of everybody. And Rocket, like mortally wounding Rocket. And Guardians 3 has now been set up. It is basically a story of saving Rocket. Rocket is pretty much for the vast majority of the movie just on a stretcher. And the whole movie is basically about them trying to save him. And this movie is painful. Like, yeah, I don't think there's a single, like, even the worst Marvel movie I find enjoyment in. Like, I wouldn't mind watching the worst one. Like, whatever your least favorite is, I've probably seen it multiple times at this point. This one, I don't think I'm ever going to need to watch it again. It's hot. It's rough. I mean, the one rule I have is, especially because, I'm a big horror aficionado too, I don't like watching anything that hurts animals. It's kind of tired. It's tired. It's boring. It's lazy. It's not scary. It's just shock. It's just shock value is what it is.
Well, and I was telling one of my friends about it, that it's, in the way to say it unspoilery for my friends and for people, but from here on out, spoilers for sure. Listeners, so
spoiler warning.
it's Rocket's back. You get a little bit of Rocket's backstory because the entire time he's on that stretcher, his life is flashing before his eyes.
Yeah.
And so you get his history, and knowing that he is like a mechanized raccoon, you can kind of guess that there was some shenanigans there. And there sure were. They're doing these experimentations, trying to like design the perfect creature or whatever. And Rocket was the prodigal son, basically, like the best of the best, and was really good at putting things together, very intelligent.
Do you like Rocket? Did you like Rocket in this?
Yeah, I did like Rocket in this. I liked to see a lot of like
to see him cry.
I did like to see him cry.
And then he's right there.
And I was telling someone, it's a trigger warning for animal. Yeah, that's very sad.
If you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, he's right there. Look at the poor guy.
Telling people like, oh, it's animal abuse trigger warning, blah 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 blah.
Very much.
Someone was like, but he's not an animal, he's an alien. And I was like, no, he's very much. And they like at near the end of the movie when he opens the cage or whatever, and he sees like all of the information about the raccoon, like these are baby raccoons that they like messed with. It is an animal that they messed with. It's not like, and it says North America, Earth. It says all of that stuff. So it's not like an alien race of raccoons.
Yeah,
it is a raccoon. So it's 100% wildlife abuse.
So while they don't show them specifically like cracking open Rocket or anything like that, but you see. Like the Guardians, for instance, they see a recording of some of the experimentation that was done to Rocket, and it's kind of in the foreground, kind of blurry, so you don't see it all, like an exact image of it. But we do see young Rocket, like with like staples like around his skull, where they like opened his head up and messed with his brain.
So yeah, I mean, he has like they clearly cut open his brain. There's no fur that's grown back there, and it's all stapled back together. You see a lot more of like his skin near his like implants.
If anybody, and I'm not saying go out and watch this stuff, although I mean I've seen stuff like you see like undercover. There was a time when you saw a lot of undercover camera footage from things like PETA and stuff in like various facilities where animals are harvested for products, whether it be pigs or cows or sheep or whatever. Fox Farms come to mind. But it speaks to how Marvel, I've always contended that Marvel movies are only as compelling as their villains. James Gunn really went above and beyond in trying to portray the High Evolutionary, who's the bad guy in this movie, as a truly detestable person. His goal is to create the perfect society of being. And to that end, anything else is inferior to him. And it's not like these animals are kept well before they're experimented on. Like you would think you would want your experimental subjects to be in the best possible shape to receive whatever horrible thing you're going to do to them. But no, he keeps them in tiny, dirty, dark cages, even mixing specimens together, which I would think you as a scientist should know you probably shouldn't mix your specimens together, like especially if they're alive, like in the same container.
The funny thing to me, as someone who works in a wildlife center, for example, we have containers that, like, as we are rehabilitating the raccoons, we put like 2 or 3 raccoons in the same container. They don't like to be alone. They'll just cry.
They're social animals.
They're social animals. But you leave them alone for like 2 hours while they're napping or whatever, and they make a fucking mess. Like they are disgusting. And so when you see like that like
it's a cage. Yeah, it's a cage.
The cage that has like
20 raccoon
babies in it. I was like, they would be covered in shit. Like there is absolutely no way that like they must be cleaning that cage like every 5 minutes for it to be as clean as it is.
Or it's very possible that they're just fresh wild caught babies.
Maybe, yeah.
Or it stands to reason that the High Evolutionary is keeping breeding pairs, or even like cloning is not out of the question. They don't specify where they get these animals from, other than like that little boilerplate you see inside the cage at the end that says species North America, raccoon, et cetera, et cetera. that's saying what they are. It's not necessarily saying how they were obtained. So they could be
No.
like Rocket could be a clone of an original raccoon that they kidnapped from Earth
Yeah.
forever ago. We
But
just
then, so first of all, kudos to them for keeping it so clean because that cage wasn't absolutely like covered in feces. But then you're talking about the like after they're all mutilated and shit. He is put into a cage with a rabbit.
Floor, the best character in the movie, the cutest character in the movie. Horrifyingly enough, broke my heart. Like I wanted to cry.
I did cry in this movie multiple times.
I took my kids to see this movie, and
no,
yeah, I mean it's a Marvel movie.
I specifically told people don't take your children to this movie.
Absolutely not. So I just want to say real quick, like if you're as smart as the High Evolutionary is supposed to be, and clearly like they're advanced enough that they can do the things they're doing, like create sentient beings out of otherwise non-sentient animals. Not to say that animals aren't sentient, but you know what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
Sapient, is that the better word? Anyway, like why would they think that replacing a rabbit's like cutting off a rabbit's hind limbs and then giving it robot spider legs and then putting like this weird
jaw trap thing on
trap muzzle over its face, like, or putting a walrus in a wheelchair and like suturing its eyes open, or like replacing an aquatic mammal like an otter's front limbs with like long robot arms. Like, why is that? How does that get you to the perfect society when like the perfect society that they created was just like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, like grown, like they put like a turtle in and it grew into like a human turtle hybrid.
Yeah.
Like, no mechanical parts necessary.
Yeah.
So I get the brain tinkering and stuff like that to like, but what did like the other body mutilations, how did that get you to your ultimate goal? I don't know. But what it did do is show how truly detestable the High Evolutionary was.
Yeah.
And then not just that, but like Rocket at one point, he's impressed the High Evolutionary by pointing out a flaw in his design, and the High Evolutionary tells his helper to take Rocket back to the cage, and the helper guy like smacks Rocket like like smacks him or kicks him like right back into the cage. Like that is
unnecessary.
Not only is that unnecessary, but like if I was the High Evolutionary, I'd kick the shit out of that guy because Rocket is my prized experiment. Like you damaged the goods essentially. Not to sound callous about it, but like you're also supposed to be like a fucking scientist or whatever. Like Cody, you don't just like do a science experiment and then kick it into its cage. Like that sounds insanity. That sounds insane to me.
Imagine how much money and how much time and energy went into that and into him.
And then to be just so careless and
yeah.
But again, like it shows how ruthless the High Evolutionary and his people are. Like,
well, and I guess we can say here that like the reason that Rocket is special in this series is that other creatures that have been created that have been given brain augmentations, whatever, all they can really do is regurgitate information or
they can learn things.
They can learn things, but they don't really have original thought.
Right. They can't invent things.
Correct. And Rocket does. Like Rocket is the one example of like, oh, I can very clearly see what your design is, and here is the flaw. Here is the flaw in your design.
And he does that as a baby, and it drives the High Evolutionary fucking mad. Like, how did this inferior... This is his whole deal. How did this inferior life form find a flaw, point out a flaw that I myself did not see? And to Rocket's credit, the flaw was the problem, and it fixed the issue with their super people's thing.
But then then the High Evolutionary is able to, because the flaw before that basically just made any creature that became anthropomorphized furry status, they were super aggressive. And fixing the flaw makes it so that they are no longer aggressive, they're peaceful, they're chill. And then he just makes a freaking Earth out of all of these. And so you have Counter Earth, which is basically like our Earth, but with furries. And
nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like, no, I'm just saying that for, but like, so the indignation that I'm having is he makes this Earth. He gives all of these creatures that Earth. Great, cool. They're on the planet. You can have your perfect society or whatever. And then he's like, blow it up. And it's just like, what?
Yeah. He's just like, screw it. Got to start over. I guess we'll destroy it.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that, like, they're doing that. They do that after you meet some of the, like, kind of quote unquote meet. Like, you kind of see, like, one of the, she's a bat.
A bat lady.
And she's super sweet. And then the whole planet just explodes.
She has children, and you see an octopus dealing meth, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's, you would think now that you have a whole planet that idolizes you and worships you like a god. You probably use that planet to like he has a whole shell corporation. So the Guardians, at some point, they have to go to this like living Nexus space station thing that's made out of like gross living matter, and that's like a shell organization, so that a shell company for the High Evolutionary to make money. That's how he makes money. He runs experiments through there and funnels it back to his villainous operate. Blah blah blah. You think if you had a whole planet full of people, that worshipped you like a god, that's another income flow. Yeah. And it's legal. Go to another planet, make some more. I don't understand why he blew up the whole thing. He's just, the High Evolutionary didn't make a lot of sense for a guy that was so high evolutionary.
I had blissfully forgot about that.
Nathan Fillion has
Nathan Fillion is good
role in this movie. He's not just a voice like he was in the first movie.
The flesh station was horrifying.
It's so gross and so weird. But it was fine. It didn't.
No, it wasn't. Like everything.
Mantis making the guy fall in love with Drax.
That's funny. That's all funny. Like, I don't mind any of that. What I mind is an entire space station made out of organic matter and like fountains of what looks like fat, and like what? It was just so gross. I don't like the insides of bodies. It's disgusting.
I think it was like the skin chunks that really, like the layers of skin you get through the epidermis and stuff, and like the fat layers and the greasy hair follicles were disgusting.
So freaking gross. So but yeah, so they're basically trying to find these people, trying to figure out why, because they can't save Rocket because Rocket has something on his heart that's like a stop mechanism that if you try and use a med pack on him, it's gonna just to blow him up.
He's proprietary technology in quotation marks, and attempting to interfere with his biology is seen as like a breach of that and causes like a self-destruct device to go off on his heart and kill him.
So they go to the gross ass planet Nexus thing. It's not a planet.
It's like a space station. Yeah.
To try and find his file, to try and see if the key that stops the heart thing is there. It's not, but it's Kicky McKicker bitch stole it. The guy that yeah.
The recorder
he's a recorder for the High Evolutionary, but he had come in right in the nick of time and stolen that information and downloaded it into his brain. So then they're like, oh, we gotta go get this motherfucker.
Which, by the way, he gets his just desserts. They kill his ass.
Kill his ass.
Yeah.
Like, that was brutal how they basically fall out of
the atmosphere.
Out of the atmosphere, land on him, and like
just ride out the inertia.
Yeah.
Ride
him out, and then just rip that thing out of his head and just walk away.
Yeah.
There's no like dramatic, like, oh, he got his comeuppance or anything. He's just like, done. You're done. You're dead.
He's like, you're going to kill us, and Peter Quill is like, not us or whatever, and then like flips him over to his back to do that.
Bananas.
Yeah, it was pretty good, but ultimately, it's a good movie. It's a triggering movie. It's hard to watch, but they do inevitably figure, like, they get the code that they need. and they are. Oh, I should say we didn't bring this up, but Nebula gets into contact with the Ravagers to help them break into living space station thing because they need help to do so, and
Right.
Gamora rejoins the team in this way.
Mm-hmm.
We also see that it turns out that the gold people or whatever are also creations of the High Evolutionary. He didn't blow them up for some reason. And Adam Warlock is one. He's basically like a child in a body of a god in this movie. He takes things very literally. Like when his mom says, show that guy that we mean business. Adam Warlock's like, huh? And he like shrugs, and then he obliterates the guy and melts him to like a fucking skeleton. Like, because he just doesn't know. So you have Adam Warlock and his mom constantly after the Guardians as well, because the High Evolutionaries promised to destroy their whole species if they don't catch them. Gamora's back with the group during this as well, and they resolve. I'm glad that they resolved the Gamora and Peter Quill storyline the way they did. It wasn't like the fairy tale, like they get back together like they were before, but they resolve it amicably where Star-Lord is able to move on.
Yeah.
And Gamora is also, she recognizes, she has a newfound like respect for Peter Quill, even though that love is not there anymore.
Yeah.
Like she, at the end, she's like, I bet we were fun.
Yeah.
And Peter was like, we were, you have no idea.
Yeah.
But,
so it's not, it like ties it up in a nice bow that, you know, they're at peace with the fact that they're not,
Peter
that's not gonna happen.
Peter gets over it. And I guess we should talk about the way that this movie, they do, of course, naturally, they save Rocket. Me and Gracie from After Dark Eye, we had bets on who we thought was going to live and who was going to die. And I'm kind of I'm fine with the way it turned out. Nobody died. At least none of our heroes died. They do manage to save Rocket, but however, they do disband at the end. Peter,
well, they kind of Rocket is the new,
right? I was going to get to that.
Yeah.
But Peter decides to go to Earth and reconnect with the grandfather he hasn't seen since he was abducted by the Ravagers as a kid. Drax and Nebula stay behind on Nowhere to help rebuild it into a society, you know, to make it a home for people. Mantis also decides to embark on her own because she's got a point. Before the Guardians got her, she just did whatever Ego said.
Yep.
And then once the Guardians found her, she just did whatever the Guardians wanted to do, and she wanted to go figure out what does Mantis want to do.
Yeah.
So she goes off as well. Am I missing anybody that leaves, per se? I don't think so. By the way, I love that Nebula is like an official Guardian at this point. She's one of my favorite characters.
Watching her get her ass kicked is...
Oh, it's brutal.
Brutal because she just like breaks, but then she puts herself back together. It's bananas.
Karen Gillan, top 3 on the Hall Pass list. 100%.
Hall Pass.
But anyway, like I was saying, ultimately, Peter bequeaths or relinquishes control of the Guardians to Rocket, saying that he's the new leader. Groot naturally stays with him. Kraglin stays with him, and we get a nice mid-credits scene with the new Guardians hanging out, and we also see that Cosmo is one. We also see one of the little girls that the High Evolutionary experimented on has become one. I forget her name. I had to look it up because I don't think they actually say it anywhere in the movie.
I don't think they say that any of their names. But yeah, she's.
And then there's one more other than Groot. The little fuzzy guy. There's a little fuzzy like mascot pet looking
Adam
cute guy.
Warlock.
Yeah, Adam Warlock. Yes. So like at the end of the movie, there's a point where Adam Warlock's basically defeated and he could be killed, but Groot saves him. And Adam Warlock's like, why? And then it's because Groot says everyone deserves a second chance. And
end of the movie, Groot says something that's not "I am Groot." What the hell?
He says something, and it's Gamora, right? I believe, finally understands what Groot says, because the whole time she's like, is he even saying anything?
No, he says, "I love you guys."
Yeah, but maybe. Yeah, but I assume we're hearing that as like the rest of them are hearing it. Because it's also very funny to me that the whole crew is able of understanding Groot, where it used to be just Rocket that understood Groot. By the time the third movie's come through, everyone's starting to understand Groot,
Okay, here
and
it
only
is.
only Gamora is the only one that doesn't understand him.
Here it is. It's something about how now that this is the final goodbye sequence of the Guardians of the Galaxy, we like Gamora can't understand him, and then suddenly she can understand him, and it's like that we as the audience are now able to understand him, and so.
That's how I took it.
He probably says I am Groot, but it says I love you guys.
So in the comics, Groot's language, if you heard it in passing, all their words sound like I am Groot. Doesn't matter if it's Groot himself or someone else of his species, even though there's none left. They all sound like I am Groot. But when you get to know them and learn them, like over time, you get to start understanding the subtleties of the language, and you start to understand it, and Rocket's able to do that. So it's like over the course of these many movies, the rest of the Guardians have begun to understand what Groot is saying, because Peter Quill and the rest of them clearly understand what Groot is saying, because he's also interpreting for Gamora, and just Gamora the whole time's like, he's just saying I am Groot. So it is nice at the end we got to hear him say something finally, but he's still a Guardian, and they made him giant. They made him huge.
They were like, Kaiju Groot,
Kaiju Groot. They're like, I thought for sure he would be like back to adult Groot, like in Guardians 1, but no, they went further than that, and he's already beefy in this one.
Yeah, he's beefcake. Yeah, it's a good movie. I'll probably watch it again, but like I might skip through some things.
Floor and Teeth and Lila just broke my fucking soul. Hey, you know what? Hold on. We got to go to a break real quick. But I just want to say, during like the sequence when Rocket like technically dies for a second, and there's like a bright white, blinding white light, like it's the classic like go into the light like heaven, and Lila meets him, like, and they say they fly through the infinite blue sky forever, and he's like, "Can I come?" And she's like, "Absolutely." But it's not your time yet.
But it's not.
And then in the background, you see Floor and Teefs waving at him, because they're all in heaven, right? They're enjoying bliss.
Yeah.
Why are they still? Wouldn't they be normal animals? Like, why are they still in these tortured forms in heaven? I don't get it. But
you wanted them to be like an actual bunny rabbit and an otter, like,
and a walrus, yeah.
And a walrus.
But we got to take a break. They do say at the end of the movie that the legendary Star-Lord will return some capacity, but who knows how that will be.
In my mouth.
I'm sure. But we really do got to take a break right now, Cody.
For sure.
Any last thing you want to say?
No, that's good. I think we got some test subjects to rocket into space.
Right. Yeah. Ha Oh, Cody, are you ready for a new experimente?
I am always down for science. You know me.
Science! Is that what we're doing this for? I thought we were doing it for the evil villainous kicks.
No, I thought we were doing it because if we want to be able to tell people how to survive impossible things in apocalypse, put people in these situations to tell them what works and what doesn't. I
misunderstood the entire premise of this show.
So it is for science.
It's for science. It's for the greater good.
Yeah.
You know, one could say that we are the scientist on high, and evolutionary speaking, we are the masters of our design.
And we're trying to make a
perfect society.
A perfect society. So yeah.
Capable of overcoming any obstacle.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Did you get the test subjects prepped?
I did. This Nick, it looks like the other Nicks, but some's a little different. So we'll see.
They all come out a little bit different.
I don't know which one I grabbed. I know it's not Tech Nick. I know it's not Intern Nick. I know.
I think the clone Nick that clones Nicks for us. I think he kind of slacks off sometimes.
Well, here's one of them. So
here's one.
Yeah, I've got him prepped. We're good.
What about the other test subject? Who we got today?
We have Klayshen again.
Oh, is the original one, right? He'll never escape.
I'm pretty sure it's the original. Oh god, what does he still have? Does he still have his katana?
Katana? I think so, actually.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's got the Demon Slayer Black Katana, and he's got a map.
Yep.
Not important. I'm sure we'll rig the system against him. Here we go. Send him through, Momputer.
System error. New test subject aborted. Engaging old. Dumb. Same test subject.
Oh, Nick, Clay, welcome back to the experiment. You both wake up out of your test chambers, freshly blasted out into the testing site. Looking around, you guys would notice that you are in what appears to be a city. Like, shall we say, very cyberpunky in style, like a lot of metal, a lot of artificial creations. Like, you're not seeing any trees whatsoever. Neon signs are everywhere, and there's a lot of hustle and bustle and a lot of quote unquote people. However, it's very apparent, you don't even need to roll for this, that all the people are not human. Like, occasionally you might see one here or there that is human. Nick, why don't we start with whoever you are?
All right, that sounds mighty fine to me.
Okay.
What you doing, friend?
What you doing, friend?
Oh, well, I'm just having a look around here now. Pretty clear this ain't New York City. Or maybe it is. Some people living there look this weird, if I'm being honest.
New York City! You know,
Gum!
they don't know salsa in New York City. Yes, correct. I'm not even gonna have you roll for it. You very clearly can tell this is 100% not New York City or any of its surrounding areas.
You don't know where I got the cowboy hat, but I have a cowboy hat now.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Cowboy Nick, welcome. You see a sign that says, it's a bunch of alien gobbledygook, and it's constantly, like, rotating out of that. Kind of like one of those old school, like, clocks that have the little flappy flaps. It's kind of like that, only it's, like, flashing in a bunch of different neon alien letters, and eventually it rotates over to English, and it says, "Welcome to Nowhere." Clay? You hear this music on the loudspeaker, by the way.
Are me and Nick together?
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, sure.
Now look over, so I see another human fella standing there.
Where the fuck did they put us now?
Well, according to this sign over here, it's someplace called Nowhere, which seems a bit contradictory, because this is clearly somewhere.
As you guys ponder this, a large alien bumps into you, Clay, and says, like, very kind of annoyed with you, and shrugs you off with his shoulder and keeps walking.
People are about as nice as New York, so this I mean, what you say about this possibly being New York tracks. But anyways, Nick, I'm guessing not Nick. What's your name?
I mean, some folks call me Nathan, but
Nathan. Okay.
I feel like we might be
Nathan.
breaking the rules here a bit if I go just adopting random names.
You look like. Never mind. Okay. All right. I've been in a few of these, so we got.
Whoa! Hold on a second. Let God interfere here. You'll remember an adventure that you shared, where you feel like you were in the body of a cat for some reason, and you feel like your companion in a past life was probably a crow. That's all you remember.
I don't remember the ant encounter or the zombie encounter.
No, I mean, well, also, like, Nick wasn't part of the ant encounter to begin with. That was Chris Logan. Hi, Chris Logan.
But I don't remember these though.
Correct. All you know is you remember that one adventure based on the roll here. You only get one. That's not. It wasn't a good. Wasn't a good roll.
Say odd or even.
Odd.
No, yeah, you don't remember.
That's what I rolled for.
I was gonna roll to see if I prepped them correctly, and I did.
Okay.
I
Okay.
wiped his memory.
Okay. Well, he still remembers fragments of Crow in pantaloons and Puss in rain boots. You also have a katana and a map.
Okay, so I have a map and a katana. I remember 2 people doing jack shit with a old ass computer. So there's and they need to upgrade their shit, but that's besides the point. Anyways, let's figure out what the fuck we need to do and get the fuck out of here.
Sure, Nick. I'm sorry, Nathan. Pardon me.
I mean, if you want me to go by Nick, I don't want to mess up the
No,
rules.
no.
You're Nathan.
No. You're Nathan.
Yeah,
All right.
Nathan.
Awesome.
Clearly, somebody on where the city that you're in is very groovy. This episode's definitely getting copyright stricken.
Well, we weren't gonna make money on it anyway.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Well, pal, I'd say that the first thing we need to do is find someone what speaks something similar to what we do, or else we ain't gonna learn much.
That's true. Let's just walk down the thing and see if we can read any of the signs and go from there.
Sounds like a better plan than I had. I follow Klayshen.
Cody, give me a roll.
16.
16, double 16s. You guys make your way through the city and marvel at the various, quite frankly, alien-looking folks all about you, and they're all going about their tasks. Typically, hang on a second. Someone killed the music. It was very distracting, but someone on the loudspeaker killed the music, and then you're gonna hear, "Rocket! I told you not to mess with my damn tape player!" And then you hear some other arguing, et cetera, and what it sounds like a furious argument taking place just around the corner down the street.
I said, okay, somebody is speaking our language. Let's go towards them.
All right. Sounds like the plan I was suggesting.
We're gonna head towards that argument.
Okay.
Whoever has excellent taste in music, so
sure. You're gonna head towards that argument. Cody, I need another roll, please.
3.
Okay. As you get nearer, you very clearly can make out someone that appears to be human and something that appears to be some sort of small rodent standing on their hind limbs. But as you get closer, suddenly you hear like a distant thunderous explosion overhead. It's at this point you realize that wasn't the sky up there twinkling about. That was some kind of metal dome, it seems like. Well, anyway, someone or something comes streaking in and just lands full force into the ground between you, causing a massive shockwave, sending you both flying back. Cody, can you roll for me?
15.
4. Okay. So, Klay, you're not going to see any of this. You're going to tumble around the debris. You're going to get dust in your eyes. You're not going to see a thing. You're going to be disoriented. Cowboy Nathan, using your hat, you pull the brim down to keep the dust out of your eyes, and you shrug off the shockwave as it is, like a man does. You would then lift the brow of your hat, and you would see that whatever it was caused that disturbance has blasted off with the rodent feller and sent the human feller crashing through a nearby building. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm gonna approach where the the human gentleman has landed and see if he is okay. Seeing as how he is the closest thing we have to a familiar face in these parts.
You're gonna attempt to do so. However, a blue lady with these jet black eyes and like a fucked up looking arm, like it looks like it's been broken in like 20 different ways. She pushes past you towards the building, almost completely knocks you over. But as she passes you, like her arm like transformers and like fixes itself. She goes into the building ahead of you, shouts a bunch of things at the gentleman, and they both start to. She gathers him up basically, and they run the opposite direction down the street away from you.
Well,
Klay,
damn.
Klay, you didn't see any of this because you were just still rubbing your eye like a precious little baby boy. Cody, give me 2 rolls. This is disadvantage.
11 and 13.
Okay. You managed to hold on to your katana and the map in the ensuing shockwave. And you've managed to also clear your eyes up as best you can. You can see Cowboy Nathan just ahead of you a little bit. He maintained his composure like a real man. And you would see you couldn't really make out who they were, but you could see 2 figures kind of running the opposite direction.
All right, I'm gonna run up to Nick or Nathan. What the fuck just happened?
Well, there was some sort of explosion, and now the gentleman, what was speaking English, is running down the street with a blue woman of some kind.
Let's run after them.
About as good a plan as I had. And yeah, that's Nathan takes off.
Cody, can you give me a roll, please?
11.
Lovely. 16. You both run after the other 2 figures. However, you get lost. You're not totally familiar with this place at all. Klay, you see a sign, one of those signs that's constantly like rotating or whatever, and eventually it rotates to English, and it appears to be instructions. Like one says like galley this way, and another one says spaceport that way. Which direction would you like to go? There's like you're not restricted to just those 2 areas. That's just the only thing that you see that you can make heads or tails of. But again, you've lost the other 2 people in the shuffle of the city.
I'm gonna pull the map out.
Ooh. Okay.
And see if I can see them on the map.
So when you pull the map out, you get what looks to be like a map of the mall. It's got several floors on it. It has a little red dot that says "You are here" with an arrow pointing to it. However, it doesn't show you the location of individuals because this is a full city. It doesn't know that you want those specific individuals, so like it's just going to show you the layout of the city, as it were.
Gotcha.
What are you?
Mighty useful.
Sorry, Cowboy Nathan.
No, I apologize. Go right ahead, God.
I love it. Next roll is for advantage, just for making me laugh.
15.
Klay, you're looking at the map. What do you see on there that you like? What do you want? I know you want to find those 2 individuals, but they're not specifically going to show up on there.
Okay. Do I see a path of destruction? Because I'm sure they're leaving one behind.
You concentrate on it, and the map suddenly starts to shift and change as though the ink is dancing on the page and reforming. And it shows you what looks like a path that you should take, or at least potentially, should you choose to. And it goes straight and a ways and eventually ends at what looks to be a round area. On the map, on a 2D map, I couldn't tell you what exactly it is. It's a round, open clearing type area.
Let's go this way.
Sure. Gamers would know this place as a boss arena. But fortunately for you, it's not that. You get to what it turns out to be the spaceport. And there is a ship there. Cowboy Nathan, would you like to do anything?
Let's see. I'm gonna take a look around and see if I see any sign of the two individuals. I assume, and probably check the spaceship, because it stands to reason that if whatever stole their little friend took them and went up, they're gonna want to be going up too.
Okay. So you don't see anything other. I mean, you see other ships, but they're kind of far away from, like, they're not in like an orderly manner. This is not a city that says to you like these people are organized in any particular fashion. But the closest one to you is there, and you said you want to check the ship out. Is that what you said?
Well, I'm gonna give it a look over since it's there.
Are you going inside of it?
You don't just go into another man's spaceship uninvited. I will examine it from the exterior. Thank you very much.
From the exterior, you see the landing gear, you see the cockpit, although it's kind of too high up, you can't see if anybody's up there. Walking around it, you would see that the cargo bay is down. You could walk into it if you wanted to.
I will take a step up and say, hello! Anybody in there?
Clay, what are you doing?
Is this the only ship in this area, or?
No, there's more, but I would say they're not within a stone's throw. Like, they're scattered throughout the spaceport, but they're not particularly more accessible. Like, you would have to spend like a full round action just getting to the next one.
Okay.
And you're not in combat, of course, but I'm just trying to give you an idea. Oh, sorry. Probably a couple 100 meters just to make the other god happy.
Have an imperial god and a metric god on this.
What could Sarah be here? That would have been funny because she is literally a metric god. Anyways, I'm just gonna go up with Nathan. Be hello.
Okay.
See if anybody answers.
Seems like there ain't no one home. That magic map of yours got anything else to say on this subject?
Give me, Cody, give me a roll.
3.
Okay, but the previous one
Was
was
15.
15 because I gave him advantage, so we'll go off the 15. As you both step onto the cargo bay ramp, suddenly the ship lurches upward, and the ramp starts to rise up as though to close. Clay, unfortunately, you're gonna go tumbling like a tumbleweed all the way down the ramp and into the shit. Cowboy Nathan, however, is real cool. He just slides on his boots all the way to the bottom, like he's a damn anime character or Fred Flintstone riding down the back of a dinosaur, all the way to the bottom. Clay, you come clattering to the floor, and Nathan, you just slide gracefully to the bottom. But the cargo bay has shut, and the ship is taking off.
Well, I'm gonna walk over and help Klayshen stand up.
Okay.
What a gentleman!
What a gentleman! Pick a man
Cowboy
up while he's
Nick.
down.
Nathan.
I like Cowboy Nathan. Cowboy Nathan's cool.
God.
Yeah.
Nathan Houston is the epitome of a Southern gentleman.
Oh, getting me a little wet. Getting got a little wet up here at these rain clouds. Woo!
Thank you, Nathan.
And say that they're wet.
Not a problem. We seem to have gotten ourselves into a new type of predicament, though. Here.
Were we just kidnapped?
I think more like we stowed away, or whatever the term is.
I think we didn't stow away. We were definitely kidnapped.
Kidnapception.
I'm gonna pull up the map and see if the map has changed to a schematic of the ship.
You pull out the map and hang on. Okay. It does show you the layout of the ship. It also shows you outside the immediate vicinity outside the ship, and there is nothing.
Okay. Well, I say we try to make our way to the cockpit so we can try to figure out who the fuck just kidnapped us.
All right, but let's not be too sneaky and all that. We don't want people to think
hell
we're
no.
trying to.
You know, when you see God fist pump, you know the rolls are in his favor. Cody, I need a roll.
Hello?
16.
Okay. So, as you guys start to use the map to navigate out of the cargo bay to make your way to the cargo hole, or excuse me, the cockpit, the ship lurches forward with such huge velocity, as though like it was starting to like hover, like it was about to take off, and then it shot into freaking hyperspeed. Of course, you didn't know that, but the force of this, you guys aren't sitting down. You're both gonna fly backwards and just kind of be stuck to the wall, like, ah! Ludicrous speed has been engaged. Klay, you are screaming, and like, I'd be surprised if your pants stayed dry. Cowboy Nathan, you, however, are just kind of standing there, like your back's against the wall, because I mean, you are suffering from the inertia of the sudden takeoff, but you're taking it like a cool customer, like you're like, whoa, but this bucking Bronco is wild. I don't have to not to put lines in your mouth.
No, I want hit. What's your reaction, Nathan?
Well, probably he's not completely immune. He would start out like, you know, a little bit of like terror and scream, but it would turn into like a, you know, woohoo at some point.
Oh,
like,
very Mario.
Put a yeehaw in
yeah,
there.
I hit a little bit of the wrong register, but
I did.
anyway.
I did just watch the Mario movie before this, so that is
nice.
That is fitting.
Again?
The first time. It's the first time I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, during the sequence, Klay, you would have passed out. The G-force just made the blood rush to your head. You felt nauseous, and then boom, you're out like a light. Of course, Cowboy Nathan is 100% unfazed by this, and is just having the time of his life. This is the most fun he's ever had within a short time period. By the time it ends, and you guys are able to move about of your own volition, I will say Klay is still passed out. But Cowboy Nathan, you would notice that things aren't quite right. As your body starts to float away from the wall, you are in fact in 0G now. You're in space.
Hot damn. Well, this creates a bit of a problem, as I am not used to moving around in this environment.
You just see Klay above you going.
Hey,
slowly rotating.
Did I can't remember, did he give me his name? I don't remember.
I don't think so. I think he asked what your name was or whatever, but then he was very, very rude. And
I told him my name.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh,
Fans, write in to letsdiepod.com. Or no, wait, that's not it. letsdiepod@gmail.com and let us know if he actually did.
Yeah, we'll just say for simplicity's sake, hey,
Yeah.
Klay, you all right up there?
Cody, I need to roll.
4.
It is not successful. However, Klay bumps into the opposite wall, and the sudden like noggin bonk like wakes him up somehow. He's like,
What the hell? Shit.
Well, sadly, I cannot answer that question on account of I ain't never ridden an iron horse that went this fast before.
Reminds me of that time in Tijuana. Fuck.
I'm dead.
Okay.
I love Cowboy Nathan.
All right. Why are we floating?
And no, I was going to ask you that question.
Back are we in Tijuana? Last time I floated.
Anyway, I can say with fair certainty that we ain't in Tijuana.
Okay.
Damn it. Klay, as you come to, you realize that the map is still in your possession. You didn't accidentally lose it during the during the takeoff sequence. So it's still in your hands. You never let go of it.
I love how you keep getting low rolls for things, but then when it's did he lose his shit, the dice are like, no, he did not.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Okay, we need to try to get back to that. We need to try and find somewhere that has gravity. I guess. Fuck.
Or maybe there's some kind of a hold on. I mean, assuming this vessel is designed for this sort of environment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look around. Are there any like loops on the wall or something that could be grabbed, like rungs, like a ladder?
Yeah, you would see some of those. You would also see like some vent work that is big enough for both of you to fit in. You would also see a door. It's two doors. One that goes. I'm not gonna tell you where it goes, but there's two There's two doors, and you do see rungs and whatnot, and a vent. This is still the cargo bay, mind you.
Okay, so per the map, which way would be the most direct to the cockpit?
Damn you. It's a pretty short path, right? So if you take the door, there's two doors. If you take the one on the right, it'll take you up a slight incline, then to an elevator, which will then take you straight to the bridge, which itself is connected to the cockpit. If you take the door on the left, it's just a storage room closet thing. If you take the vent, it also leads you. I mean, it's also filled with like conduit and wires and stuff. You both could fit fairly easily, probably. And that duct work rather, also leads directly to the cockpit.
Okay.
In addition to pretty much everywhere else.
Okay, I say we go option one.
Okay. You open the door, and as both of you cross the threshold, the artificial gravity kicks in, and you fall straight to the ground. Cody, can you roll for me?
Oh god. 14.
Jeez. Thunderous roll.
It almost hit the floor, but it was
What was the
14.
number?
14.
Oh. Cowboy Nathan, it's like it ain't nothing, just steps right into artificial gravity like a cool customer. Clay, that was a 7. You fall face down.
I'm gonna try to stop him from falling on his face.
Oh, Nick, Cody, give me a roll for that.
4.
I'm so sorry.
You try to, but he thuds loudly on the ground, and but you do help him up, which is very nice of you. It's at this time that you looking around, you see the slight incline, which leads to another door, but you hear what sounds like stomping, like monstrous stomping, like thudding, like it's coming from somewhere in the ship. And I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
Sound like he's coming this way.
Maybe he is. You see, I'll tell you what, you see like the shadow of someone just around the corner or something. It looks like tendrils everywhere, like tentacles. And you hear the sounds of like creaking wood.
Mayhap. We should make ourselves a little scarce and make sure that whatever is coming this way isn't going to be particularly hostile, if you know what I mean.
I mean, they're the ones who kidnapped us. Plus, I thought we weren't supposed to be sneaky.
I just want to see what's coming before I do anything. Is there like a sort of like a I don't know, ship support that I could just sort of not like hide behind, but like reduce my visibility with, just sort of back up to?
No, but there's more vent work. Or you could go back to the cargo bay. You could do that as well. I will say that at this point, you guys would have heard another voice. It's not any voice that you've heard before, but you would have heard another voice say, "Impudent tree! There is no way that you could best me in a skill of strength. I am too strong to be defeated that way." And then you would just hear, "I am Groot."
Well, most of that sounded like English. On second thought,
"I will kill you!"
Well, that sounds pretty violent.
No, Drax, you won't kill him. You be nice to Groot.
Look, Clay, my friend, I'm going to leave this ball in your court. I am inclined to let them know of our presence on account of, I don't want to get shot. But if you would rather try to play this a little bit more on the down low, I won't blame you.
I don't think we're going to get shot.
All right. In that case,
Before you guys do any...
Hello?
Too late. You both yell out, hello? What was that? You hear the first voice yell, I didn't hear anything, says another voice. Then you hear over the loudspeaker, Groot, Jax, Mantis, get to the bridge now. But I swear I heard something. I am Groot. Yes, I can hear everything. I'm like a vicious predator in the night. Nothing escapes my earshot. And you hear some more bickering back and forth before the voices dissipate and leave.
Okay, I'm just gonna walk up. I'm going to continue towards the cockpit.
I feel like we're seeing a little bit
Well,
of a.
You can't get. You're not up to the cockpit yet. You're just in the corridor that leads up into the elevator area.
Okay.
You can go through the elevator area.
Yeah. I'm gonna head towards the bridge, towards where the cockpit bridge is.
Okay, so you'll need to go up the elevator for that. Cowboy Nathan, what are you doing?
Well, I'd rather not get separated from my buddy here.
Come on,
Okay.
Nathan.
I'll be following him.
You both ride up the elevator, and as the doors sci-fi opens, you do hear, "We will kill anyone that gets in our way." And then you hear another voice say, "No, we're not going to kill anybody. We'll just kill one stupid idiot. The next idiot I see will die." What would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna say Nathan feels pretty confident he's not an idiot.
I just want to point out. Both neither of you have seen the latest Guardians movie. That is a line from the trailer, because I know you've both seen the trailer.
I have not seen the trailer.
You haven't seen the trailer?
I have not seen the trailer.
All right. Well, Nick, you've seen the trailer, right?
I see so many trailers. That's the problem. I don't remember.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh no, I have seen the trailer. Me and you watch the trailer.
I'll just pat myself on the back for that. Thank you.
No, me and you watch the trailer, Brett.
Okay.
I'd give you a crisp high five if I was there.
Thanks.
Yeah, no,
That's
me and you watch the trailer, Brett, on a episode of
Watchers.
No.
Yeah, it was Watchers. It was Watchers.
Yeah, you were Philly or for Vinnie, I think. Oh, you were Vinnie.
I am still Vinnie.
Yeah, you're still already. Anyways,
or what just screeching halt. You guys heard that. What do you guys want to do?
So the elevator opens into the bridge.
No, so I want you to imagine, if you would. God, don't make me bust out the pen and paper. The elevator comes up, it opens, right?
Okay.
Directly in front of you is just a blank wall.
Okay.
If you came out of the elevator, it's like a ring. You can walk to the left and you can walk to the right. If you walk to the left, you'll see 2 or 3 different doors. If you look to the right, you'll see 2. It's actually 3 on each side. 3 doors on each side, left or right. And that hallway opens up into another room that would be located behind the elevator, but opposite the way the door is opening. That commons area is itself connected to the cockpit.
Okay. All right.
Anybody that's played the Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game, would know this, Clay. Come on.
I haven't downloaded. Actually, I think Xbox took it off. I don't have it downloaded anymore.
No.
It's worth buying. It's probably one of my favorite games I've played in the past few years. It's remarkable.
All right, come on, Nathan. Guess we're gonna go to the right.
Sounds fine to me.
Okay.
Okay, I'm still as we
I'm
approach,
pretty confident that I'm not an idiot as well.
Hello. Is anybody there? There seems to have been some sort of mix-up.
Well, shit. You're gonna walk up there, and as you turn the corner, you're gonna hear the of the elevators that goes back down. It seems as though that whoever was there walked the other way, got in the elevator, and went down. However,
mighty fine comedy of errors.
Well, you do see in the commons area what appears to be, I don't know. Codey, give me a roll. Let's see if they know what this is.
4.
Klay, you would remember from your time as being a human what a raccoon looks like. And what is Cowboy Nathan? Unfortunately, you have no idea what this looks like. What this
Am
is?
I not still human?
Of course you are. You see on a gurney what appears to be a raccoon. It looks like he's sleeping.
So I don't know. I don't even know what a raccoon is, huh?
Nope, afraid not,
That's-
friend.
Well, that's a mighty fine predicament.
Why do they have a raccoon? You know what? Not even going to ask. I'm just going to continue on to the cockpit.
Okay.
Don't touch the raccoon. Don't even acknowledge the raccoon.
Yeah, little fellow looks like he's sleeping. Wouldn't want to wake him up.
Yeah.
Might turn violent.
Yeah, don't want to wake them up. They're nocturnal.
As you walk, well, Klay, you're walking to the cockpit. Cowboy Nathan, are you also just walking in step with him? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm sticking with him.
As you do,
You know what? I'm gonna laugh my head off if this entire game ends up me just trying to run into someone.
We'll see. Cody, can you roll for me for Nick, please?
I'm gonna try and roll somewhere else because I feel like I keep getting the same numbers. 11, same.
That's fine. So where the raccoon is sleeping out on a table, whatever you want to call it, in the commons area, the decorative plant that they have doesn't notice you.
Decorative plant doesn't notice.
The decorative office plant that's right next to the raccoon doesn't notice you as you walk by. Its attention clearly somewhere else. You guys are now in the cockpit. It's a open concept. If you can imagine, the commons area funnels down into what is, pretty large. Like a couple people could stand shoulder to shoulder in its entrance. There's no door. And then there's
anybody here?
Nope. There's like 4 seats and a big glass dome so you can see outside. And if you look outside, you'll see what looks to be flesh. It looks like a giant canvas of skin. And that's all you see.
Well, that's mighty unpleasant.
Who the fuck stole what? What the fuck? Like, who's driving the ship?
No, it's
I
not.
Myself have also never been on a train. What drives itself?
It's not moving.
Who was driving the ship? The only people we've seen is the raccoon, and
that's it.
Yeah. Did we even notice the office shrubbery?
Sure, you would have seen a plant there. You wouldn't have thought anything of it.
That's the only thing we've seen.
A shrubbery. Thank God we're not getting any nat 20s or I don't know how I could shoehorn in Freddy Krueger into this, but we really tested my abilities. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I guess we're going to go back the way we came until we find someone.
Yeah, let's go back. Yeah, we're just going to go back to the commons area.
Hello?
There's no way around that. The office plant turns to you. It's clear that it is a humanoid plant creature. It stands probably 7 feet tall, and this thing looks chonky. If a tree could be chonky, this guy would be jacked. A jack tree. A jackfruit tree. He looks at you with these large black eyes, and he just says, I am Groot.
Hello, Groot.
Yeah, Nathan's going to take off his hat and hold up a hand, show that he doesn't, mean any kind of... He's like, well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Groot. I apologize for walking in on you, but there seems to have been some mighty wild mix-up here.
Groot looks incredibly confused and surprised and a little bit in distress, and he says, I am Groot, as he starts walking towards you both with a big stompy stomp. It's clear that this was the creature that you saw the shadow of down below, and one of the voices that you had heard.
Can you help us find somebody who can tell us what's going on?
I am Groot.
I suspect my friend Clay, that we do not actually speak this gentleman's language, even though his
Cody,
words sound awfully English.
Cody, can you please play the part of Groot from here on out?
I am Groot.
Easy now, big fella. Again, I want to reiterate that this is all a big misunderstanding. I apologize for intruding. Actually, I don't even know if he understands what I'm saying.
I am Groot.
I
I
am Groot.
I think you can understand this.
I am Groot.
So, Cody, I need a roll.
4.
Mm.
Rolling on the table from now on. Buy the cat food.
Okay. Groot is going to attempt to grab both of you with his tree branch tendrils.
Oh dear.
I am Groot.
Klay, unfortunately, you are easily wrapped up in the tree roots. Complete,
Hello.
like your whole body, and he lifts you off the ground. Cowboy Nathan, your smooth stepping ass just slides right on out of the way.
Let's see.
Are you going to take us to the people running the ship?
Yeah.
I am Groot.
I'm going to take this. Yes.
So you are awfully trusting of the large plant man here.
I don't think I have much choice.
Yeah, Klay, you are 100% in the grasp of the plant man.
I do not have much choice.
See here, Mr. Groot. Like, that's not mighty polite of you to go picking up random strangers we just met who are looking for help and your kindness, if and I might add.
He's going to try and grab you again.
I am Groot.
And he's going to fail. Cowboy Nathan just slides right out of the way like he's just a smooth criminal that he is.
I am Groot.
Yes, I mean he's not squeezing me, so
Correct.
let him.
He's not squeezing you, but he's definitely picked you up pretty effortlessly.
Just kind of let him pick you up, Nathan. I think he's gonna take us somewhere.
I have my own 2 feet. I am glad to follow if you were that trusting, but I would prefer not to be lifted from the ground, if you don't mind.
I am Groot.
I am Groot just nods his head and he starts walking back to where the elevator goes down.
Oh, seems you were right. He can understand us. Glad you were correct about that, because this could have been bad, I might point out. So yeah, I'm following them. All right.
You're in the elevator.
You know, I heard about this invention, the elevator. It's supposed to be the safest form of travel. Safer than stairs, the guy who made them says. I ain't never been on one, so I can't attest. Well, until now, I suppose.
I am Groot.
Ding! The elevator finally opens from what's seemingly like the most longest elevator ride of all time. Groot escorts you back to the cargo bay. Before he enters the cargo bay, he hits a few buttons on a panel nearby to initiate the artificial gravity, and just walks out there. You'll see that the bay is open, and the ship is now docked, had become docked with whatever was outside. He points to the exit.
Oh, well.
I am Groot.
Mighty fine of you there.
Thank you.
I'm Groot.
So if he's putting Klayshen down, I'm going to head for the exit.
He gently places Klayshen down. Yes.
Oh.
Thank you, Groot.
I'm Groot.
All right, well,
we're gonna leave.
let's see what's outside here, because I feel like we ain't getting much closer to solving our predicament.
No, I think we need to find the other people of the ship.
Yeah, that would be kind of preferable.
The ones that speak.
I'm
He
Groot.
speaks. He speaks
No,
just fine. We just can't understand him.
Yes.
I am Groot.
No offense.
It's okay there, big fella.
No offense.
All right. So I'm gonna walk down the gangway or whatever and see what I see.
Okay. You have the place that you've entered. It doesn't look like you've docked anywhere like you would see normally with like spaceships docking in space stations or anything like that nature. It's more like a hole was punched into this place. So it's going to be an impromptu departure. You're going to have to jump down from the gangway to the wherever this next level down. There is clearly like a path, like a walkway, a hallway, as you will, that this hole has been punched in through. And I'll say, the walls are pink, various shades of beige and tans, lots of pinks and reds, white occasionally. You might see glisten along the walls. The walls are very moist.
If we had a way to communicate, I would say perhaps someone should stay here and see if the other folks from this vessel return, but says we don't, it's better not to split up. So I assume we're doing this.
I agree. Is this like a tunnel that we're going into?
I mean, it's more like a section of hallway that the ship has blasted into.
Okay. Like,
Hello?
I'm pretty sure nobody's going to be able to walk by us without us seeing them, so...
Fingers crossed.
Good.
Are you guys jumping down from the gangway to the hallway?
Yes.
Okay. The moment you do that, Groot disappears from sight and the cargo bay shuts.
Oh.
Well, that might be a problem.
Yes.
You're free to walk around, I guess.
Well, let's do a little exploring. Let's make it quick on account of I don't know if we'll be able to get out of here without that ship or whatever.
Do we see like footprints?
No, you don't. The floor appears to be laminated in some weird way. The tile appears to be well, let's see. Cody, roll. Let's see if they know what it's made out of.
No, they do not. That was a 1.
That was a 1. I need a death card, and nope. Neither of you would know that it's made from bone.
Well, that sounds mighty unpleasant.
Oh, fuck!
And I knew
it. That's not good. Clay, you didn't see that, did you?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. Well, keep that in mind. You do see, like, it's laminated, like, fine. It's like white, like porcelain, this walkway. It's not particularly squishy, but the walls, if you touch them, you notice that they have a little give to them. They're a little spongy to the touch. There are a couple different ways you can go. The hallway splits into 3 from where the ship had burst in. So you can go in door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3.
Okay, so what does the map say?
The map shows you a series of corridors, hallways, rooms, open areas.
Method. Okay.
I mean, it doesn't have like any like English on it or any words for that matter to discern what these locations are. It's just showing you directions that you can travel and the general layout of those areas.
Okay, so I say let's fuck it. Nathan, pick a door. Any door.
Well, they say when you get lost in a mine, you should always go right. So let's go right.
All right, let's go right.
Sure. You both walk through the door, which opens like a sphincter. And out into a commons area, you see what looks like a ton of different folk, but I don't just mean different folk. I mean like you see people with blue skin, you see people with green skin, you see people with all manners of rainbow colored hair and people with no hair, but they got spikes instead. All kinds of different peoples in this commons area walking about. They're all wearing what looks to be a uniform. They're all wearing the same kind of overalls, or at least a variation of them. You see a bunch of different people that look like they're about to go do some hard labor. You see some people that look like they're probably office personnel, but they're all dressed in the same colors, which is kind of like a beige and gray. They all have like a little logo on the top right of their shirt.
Okay. Do I recognize the logo?
No, you do not. But it looks like a sphincter.
Ah.
Like a starfish, one might say.
Are any of them human?
Let's find out. You do see someone sitting at a desk nearby, and they appear to be human.
I'm gonna walk over to them.
Okay.
Hello, do you speak English?
That's
That's a no.
Certainly you point us in the direction of anyone who speaks a language which sounds like what myself and this gentleman speaking.
The person, very frustrated with both of you, motions for you both to follow her. She gets up from her desk, very clearly annoyed. She beep, boop, 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 and you see another office personnel come out of a door somewhere, and that person walks over with a tray. On the tray is 2 glasses of some sort of mysterious red gelatin liquid. Not quite sure. What would you like to do? She motions at it.
So,
I'm gonna look at her, point to it, say like drink.
She's getting very annoyed. She's like, as though it weren't obvious.
Okay. I'm gonna take it just down it.
Okay. Cowboy Nathan?
Well, it'd be rude to refuse a drink offered in a strange time and place.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, I take it.
It is like a wiggly jello going down your throat, almost as if it's moving on its own volition. Then you feel a sharp kind of pain in your head and a ringing, and you hear the lady go, finally, the freaking temps who ride from the temp service. We've been so understaffed. I can't believe they didn't send you guys with translation devices. This is so unprofessional.
Well, that's much better. We apologize for the inconvenience, but I'm afraid we are not from any sort of temp agency that I'm aware of. We are severely lost.
Wow. She's so enamored with how handsome and smooth sounding that you are as a Southern gentleman. She barely heard you, but she's like, well, we got ourselves a catch here, ladies. The other lady who brought out the tray, they kind of giggle. She, takes off, no doubt to gossip about the new arrivals, or at least one of them. The other one says, well, I know you're new. I know this is a lot, but welcome. This is the main central hub. We'll get your badges and we'll get you to work right away, honey. Don't you worry. She gently places her hand on your arm, Cowboy Nathan. Clay, what are you doing?
I'm very, very confused. Nathan, did you happen to see? Did any other new tips happen to arrive today?
Oh, yes, dear. I think I did see a couple of new engineers head down towards the breach. That was earlier, though. You don't need to worry about that. They got that covered. You guys are here about the office position, right?
No, actually, we're not. Sorry.
Then what are you here for?
As I was, you go right ahead. I would.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead, Nathan.
Oh, yeah. Well, as I was trying to explain, we wound up in quite a predicament. We were on some kind of flying vessel, and then we didn't know how to get out. We found a way out, and we were here.
She looks at you and goes, "Oh, they're not here for the office job. You're for the janitorial staff, clearly."
Well, I can't say as I am particularly hot on the idea of swabbing out latrines now.
Yeah, we came with the engineer group that came earlier.
We've been trying to catch up with them. It's proven quite the inconvenience.
Really? Cody, we need a roll here to see if this lady believes Klay.
12.
She's suspicious.
Don't be.
She's like, I'm gonna have to look into this. She sits back down at her desk and she starts tapping at her computer. And as she does so, a frown starts to form on her face. What would either of you can do something if you want.
I want to whisper to Nathan. Nathan, Southerly Wiles. She likes you. Turn up the Southern.
So I don't know what you're talking about. This is just the way I am. Hold on.
Nathan, flirt with her. Do it now.
I got your meaning. See here, man. Like, I woke up this morning in a strange place, and it has been nothing but one thing after the other since then. So, honestly, me and my friend are probably not supposed to be here. We've been trying to figure out what's going on for a while now, and all I gotta say is if you could point us in the direction of someone who can help us out to get our bearings, and I would be mighty grateful. Tips my hat when I do this.
She is visibly like flustered a little bit, and she turns red in the cheeks. But unfortunately, she probably would have agreed with you that, yeah, life kind of often feels like you don't belong, and you wake up and you go to your 9 to 5 and you do that grind over and over again for what reward, really? A pat on the back and a check from Uncle Joe. But unfortunately, these thoughts are interrupted by her computer screen as she grimaces and she's like, "Oh no." She's like, "You're not here from the temp service at all, are you? Security!"
I mean, that's what I was trying to tell you.
She yells for security and hits a button on her console, and suddenly the alarm blares and goes off. Wah, 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 wah.
Well, they have this. I turn to Clay. Well, they have this saying. It's
Let's get the fuck out of Dodge.
you dance with the one that brought you, and I take off back in the direction of the spaceship.
No, we need to find the fucking engineers. Let's go.
So, as you guys try to leave that area, and you're going back the way you came from, correct?
No, I'm telling him we need to go to the engineers first.
You don't know, but you don't know where they're at.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
All she said was that they were heading towards the breach that they experienced earlier.
And I'm guessing the map doesn't show me anything about a breach.
The breach was where the ship came in, where you guys entered.
Okay. All right, let's go back to the ship then.
All right. So, I'm taking off. I'm making sure that I'm not leaving Clay behind. But
as you guys start to exit the area, Nathan Fillion in a fat suit comes out, and a laser rifle, I should also mention. And the lady's like, "Over there, they're over there." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "They're imposters. They're not from the tip service at all." I don't know why she turned southern. She just did.
It's infectious.
He goes, "We got bigger problems to deal with. There are terrorists on board." She's like, "Terrorists?" And he's like, and one of the experiments got out. You guys hear this as you leave, and then following that, you hear a cacophony of gunfire.
No, I don't like the sound of any of that.
Cacophony.
Cacophony. Sorry, Cody. Sorry, Cody. Did I not say a fucking word in a way that you enjoyed?
No, I love. I'm gonna say it from now on.
Hey, I got one for you guys. Symbiote.
Symbiote.
All right, back to the game. Sorry.
That's okay.
So what you guys doing?
Well, you've just re-entered the hallway that leads to where your breach was.
I mean, my plan is like the only thing I know is that we came in on some flying thing, and that's the only way I know to get out. So that's the direction I'm heading in. Klay, if you have any better ideas, now's the time to voice them.
You don't think the people who came in earlier are the terrorists, do you?
At the moment, I would say that is unclear, and I don't have enough information to judge that. But
I mean, I do have a katana. We could go back.
Now, if you have strong feelings about going back, I will follow you, as I do not have a weapon of my own. But I'm going to leave this ball in your court. Sorry,
as you all venture through the hallway, the breach is there. However, the ship itself is gone.
Oh,
that's what I was worried was going to happen.
You also see what looks to be like 4 uniforms that the other people in the commons area were wearing. These are different colors, but that you see 4 uniforms, and they're just thrown on the ground carelessly. There's nobody in them, no bodies or anything like that. It's just the clothes are there.
Fuck.
Again, there's still 2 more areas that you could go from here.
Okay,
door number 1 and door number 2.
Well, we ain't going back out that way, so lead the
let's
way.
go door number 2.
Door number 2. You both enter into what looks like a break room.
Okay.
It's filled with tables and chairs and various screens that people can watch the fun. There's like a kitchenette area, fully equipped to make one's lunch. But it's very clearly like some sort of break area slash resting spot. And there are some people, but they seem like concerned, like they're like talking to each other excitedly and looking down at like various screens or tablets or whatever and tapping furiously on them. Not sure exactly what's happening.
Concerned, excited, or concerned, scared?
Concerned, scared.
Are they saying anything, or are they saying anything to each other, or?
I mean, they are. Are you trying to listen into their conversations?
Just only if they're talking out loud. Like,
I mean, they're talking to each other. Like they're having conversations with each other. And there's probably like 2 different groups of people. One's got like 2 people talking, and the other one's got like 3 people talking. And they're again alien-looking people.
All right, fuck. There's nobody here. Fuck. Next door.
There are a couple of exits
out of this room.
Yeah. Are you taking them?
Do you want to?
You got the map. I'm following you.
Where does the exits go?
One is going to go down a hallway and lead back to the commons area, the place where you talk to the lady about the temp service.
Okay.
The other one goes to what looks to be a multi-layered area. I don't know how else to explain that.
Okay, let's go down the one that goes back to the multi-layered area.
Okay, you're going to go down. You're going to go, and what opens up into what looks like an industrial area. There's like some steam hissing out of what looks like, they're not like metal pipes, but they're weird, familiar material. You're also going to see various vents and what looks like cables, but imagine like fleshy cables. Basically imagine like the inside of a power plant, only instead of like metal, everything's made out of living organic material.
I can't say this is a great place to be if you just ate lunch.
Yeah, probably not, but we still got to figure out what the fuck's going on, where our ride out of here is.
You also see what appears to be You wouldn't know this, but there's just a gaggle of engineers running back and forth excitedly. You'll see among them there are what appears to be just people laying down, but you would not see that those people are laying in pools of blood. The sounds of distant screaming can also be heard.
Well, it's up to you if you want to go towards the cacophony or away from.
The cacophony.
The cacophony, please.
Right, my mistake.
Well, what do you think, Nathan? Towards or away from the cacophony?
Well, I mean,
Even or
at least
odd?
if when we see what's going on, we might get some kind of answers.
You guys might have heard something, and as you're having this conversation, some slime drips copiously in a cacophony down in between your feet.
Fuck. Is this one of my memories by chance?
Nope. You only remember crow. Well, you remember bits and pieces, so yeah, you would remember something about an egg. You would remember something about the alien queen. Potentially, yeah, you would remember bits and pieces of that.
Fuck.
Huh.
Nathan.
Ain't what I wouldn't give for a sidearm right now.
Nathan.
Yes, sir.
Whatever you hear, run. Don't look back.
You ain't got to tell me twice.
I pull out my katana and prepare.
Okay. If either of you had looked up, you would have seen what is very clearly a full-grown xenomorph upside down on the ceiling above you. And folks, that's where we're going to leave it this time. To be continued
Oh boy.
on the next edition of Let's Die. Clay, thanks for joining us. You can be followed on TTV / Klayshen, Klayshen. And Nick, you got a couple of things. You got a deviant art at The For Real Deal. Links in the description. Instagram, NicodemusvRexx. Did I miss anything?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
You missed something for me.
No, I'm getting there.
Okay.
Cody, you can be found at Hiking Bagels.
Beagle, hiking beagle. Beagle like the dog, but it's BEE like bees because I study bees. I have a beagle and I like to go hiking. You can also follow me that's on Instagram. Twitter is just my name at Codey Mathis. You can also listen to me on the Harvest season. It's super
effective. After Dark
Ride.
Yeah. You were just on After Dark Ride.
I was.
And then also check out Watchers of the Stuff, Clay's podcast, part of the Pod Dog family of friends. And you can follow us at Let's Die Pod on Twitter, Instapod Dog on Instagram. Sure, that's good enough. And don't forget, if we're gonna die,
Let's
die
together. That's the best one yet.
Really good.
I was trying real hard to get y'all to do boring office work. We took a long time to get you to where I wanted to get you, and then trying to get y'all just to like file stuff and mop floors. Couldn't get it done.
You're just trying to make them be like not on like in the background of the movie.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing.
It was good though. It was like no spoiler. Like it was very anti-spoiler. So
Thank you.
Applause. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Xenomorph.
This show is brought to you by Pod Dog, the one-stop shop for all your Pokemon After Dark Ride, Jaws Breakers, Let's Die, and Watchers of the Stuff needs. If you liked it, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/poddog or visit the link tree in the description for our Discord, Twitch handles, and socials. Pod Dog Productions. We had to keep track of all this stuff somehow. By the way, don't turn me off. I'll stop existing. Whoever that was, I hate to say it, but I think he stopped existing.
Yep.